finally free. Welcome back to Live Reactions, and I am John Cam. In this video, I want to talk about a man that was sentenced to 400 years in prison. You got it right, 400 years in prison. I was amazed myself. How do you get 400 years in prison? Now, he just got out of prison. He's been in there for over, I would say, 34 years of prison time for a crime that he did not commit. I would tell you what he got convicted of, but I'm gonna let them tell you, and then I'm gonna interject here and there and give my opinion, my thoughts throughout. All right. So give me 1 second. Oh, sorry. Let me unmute this.
Family members embrace a loved one who hasn't been free in 34 years.
Sidney Holmes was wrongly convicted of armed robbery and sentenced to 400 years in prison. But today, a Broward judge vacated his sentence and dropped all charges against him.
After an emotional day in court, Holmes finally walked out a free man. CBS 4's Gabriel Arzola was there for the big moment.
Imagine spending most of your life in prison for a crime you didn't commit.
Right. That's what I said. Imagine just being in prison for well, you ain't in there for 400 years, but 35, 34 years, that's a lot of years to be in prison and it didn't do anything. That's crazy.
Well, for Sidney Holmes, he spent more than 3 decades in prison. And you would think someone in his position would be angry and bitter, but for him, it's quite the opposite. A mother running to her son. This is the first time she's hugged him in more than 2 years. You hear the pain of what it's been like for this family to be separated for so long.
I'm just so grateful. I'm just so grateful to God, and I'm so grateful to everybody that made this possible.
All for a crime Sidney Holmes never did. Back in 1988, Holmes was convicted for being a driver in a robbery. He received a 400-year sentence at 23 years old.
So he was convicted for being a getaway driver in a robbery. And he got 400 years sentence just because he was a getaway driver. This is unheard of to me. I'm gonna be honest with you. The man ain't killed no one. He haven't raped, I guess you would say raped a female. He hasn't done any child pornography, I guess. He hasn't done any I don't know, kidnapping. The only thing he did was drive. That was it, just be a driver. At least he was accused of being a getaway driver and got 400-year sentence. To me, this is unheard of. How do you get 400 years just for being a driver? He haven't killed anyone. But let's finish on with the video.
Attorneys say this was a death wish, but Holmes made it his mission to never give up. So he wrote to the Broward State Attorney's Office's Conviction Review Unit. And after a 2-year investigation, they found that Holmes had no ties to the robbers, no fingerprints or physical evidence to link him to the scene. The state said one flawed witness identification put him in prison for life. But on Monday afternoon,
just an accidental. He just got caught up, I guess, being at the wrong place at the wrong time and ended up in jail, lost pretty much half of his life. Because the human race live up to I want to say about 78 years is what I researched before. I don't know what it is now, but that was a while ago when I researched that. And they said 78 years of life. So he spent 34 years. So he spent almost half of his life in prison. That's crazy. And didn't do nothing.
an order vacating the judgment and the sentence.
Sydney was overcome with emotion, finally being heard after decades behind bars. Now with his family, he's experiencing a lot of firsts. This was the first time he picked up an iPhone, first FaceTime with his cousins, and first time walking as a free man.
What's going through your mind?
What's next?
He says what's next is learning more about the criminal justice system and helping other innocent people just like him.
I want to do some kind of prison reform because it's badly needed. You can't give up hope. Hope is something you can never give up.
I'm Gabrielle Arzola, CBS 4 News Tonight.
Wow. Okay, so that was that.
Everybody wakes up in the morning and they are pelted with.
Okay, now they just won't let me stop. Anyway, we'll keep it at that screen. Nothing's planned. Cool. And then my battery finna go. So hopefully I can do this real quick if the battery dies. But it's crazy. To be convicted of a crime that you didn't commit, you got 400 years. That's pretty much life. 3 times. No. Probably about 4 times. That's about life. 4 times. How would you even live 400 years? Like these sentences that these judges be given to be just outrageous. It don't make any sense. I mean, you do a crime, you're supposed to be able to get some time back, I believe. And then my question is, and he said when he got out of prison, when they asked him what he planned on doing, well, what's his thoughts? He said, what's next? I'll be trying to sue. I'll be trying to get millions for being convicted of a crime that I never done. I want to get my life back. I want something back. I gotta be able to do, I gotta be rich for the rest of my life at this point. So I need to sue. And they need to make me rich. Honestly. That's crazy to me. To be in jail for 400, that's just nuts. But there's not much more to say about that, man. That's just crazy. I'm glad he's out. He didn't deserve that. I think he needs some millions to sit on and just do whatever he want to do in life and live the rest of his life, worry free. Because that's what they owe him. But anyway, if you like this video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Share. It helps, man. It helps the channel if you share. It helps the channel if you like. Get people over here watching the video. And subscribe, man. Help me out. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.